got another Ed Fringe romance story for you. So I was in Gilda Balloon and I meet a comedian who I've heard of but I've never met through some friends. And after that night, he adds me on Twitter, it's quite a long time ago, and asks me out. And I didn't feel him that way, so I just didn't reply. And then a few days later, a mutual friend of ours invites me around to his flat because he's going to watch Hot Fuzz, have a bottle of wine. Blank is going to be there. And everyone in my flat is hanging out their arsehole, so the flat's like a sanatorium. So I was like, do you know what? Yeah, sure, let's go there. It'll be a laugh. So I get there, and the mutual friend, who I've since found out is part of a kind of coterie of wrong-uns on the open mic circuit, lets me in, and he goes, oh, by the way, Blank is going to have a nap, I think, and I have to go out to Espionage, so I hope that's okay. And I'm a bit like, this isn't what I signed up for, but whatever. So I go in, and Blank is sat on the sofa, and he's like dark lighting, and he's looking at me kind of like, and he's like rubbing the sofa next to him. And the mutual friend keeps saying to Blank, oh, just so you know, the bed is made, so I've freshly made it, so if you want to have a nap, it's all good to go. So he's really hammering home this like weird grooming thing that he's obviously just making it clear that we can bone in the bed. Anyway, he leaves, and Blank puts his hand down flat on the sofa as if I meant to like hold it. So because I'm a very awkward bitch, it's like low fived it really hard. And then he goes, do you fancy me? And I was like, what kind of question's that? Because if I don't fancy you, I didn't say all this, but if I don't fancy you, that's not a very nice thing to say. But also if I do fancy you and just say yes, then it's like taking any kind of sport out of it. And so far you've been a bit weird. So he gets in a mood because I don't respond to any of his weird advances. And so we're watching a really funny film, Hot Fuzz, and I'm lolling away, but he's just sat there in like a child mood. Told some comedians about this a while ago, and one of them said, you're like, you know, that goat that they in Jurassic Park that they put down into the enclosure, like that's what it was for me. And then the mutual friend comes back later, and it's like, you know, in James Bond where the villain will leave James Bond in a situation where he's definitely going to die, and so then when he sees them later he has to like pretend not to be surprised to see them like that. So when the housemate came back, he was like, how come you're still clothed? But yeah, it's not really a romance story, is it? But it's Ed Fringe.